There have been new revelations following a failed military coup in Turkey last week. During the coup, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan used his smartphone to call a live TV program and called out to citizens. Erdogan says he wants all citizens to go outside and gather in the park. People went outside to protest the coup and some boarded tanks. The president himself was in danger when he made the call. These images were taken the moment the parliament in Ankara was bombed. The failed military coup took place last Friday night. At the time, President Erdogan was staying at a hotel in Marmaris in southwestern Turkey. Local and Western media say he received a call from a senior military official there. He was told that a military coup was underway in Ankara and was told to go to Istanbul. Erdogan called out to citizens to resist the coup and headed to Istanbul. Right after his departure, a security camera at the hotel captured the rebel soldiers. Presidential guards got into a gun battle with the soldiers. Then the soldiers entered the hotel. Erdogan had left the hotel moments before. The coup was put down in half a day. Afterwards, Erdogan told reporters that he would have been killed or captured had he stayed there 10 or 15 minutes longer.
We are now learning more about the danger that President Erdogan faced when the coup occurred. Here's our reporter's commentary. The president's narrow escape was crucial in determining the fate of the attempted coup. Because the president did not get detained or get killed, it was possible to quell the revolt in a very short period of time. On the other hand, it is precisely because the president's life was endangered that he is now ruthlessly detaining a large number of people.
The Erdogan administration suspects that a movement led by Muslim cleric Fethullah Gulen was involved in orchestrating the coup. The Turkish government has fired or suspended duties of more than 25,000 civil servants with suspected links to the Gulen movement. The government also revoked the broadcasting licenses of 24 TV and radio stations amid stepped-up efforts to silence its critics. The government will crack down on all those involved in the coup, and they will be punished. U.S. President Barack Obama held a phone conference with Erdogan. Obama said that investigations should be conducted in accordance with legal processes and democratic principles. Turkey is still in turmoil in the aftermath of the failed coup, and the outlook is uncertain.
This attempted coup is said to have been a reckless plan, but it did have the potential to develop into a very different situation. Yes, the Turkish government is holding a session of the National Security Council attended by the President. It is believed that the Council is discussing how to respond to government employees with connections to the Gülen movement. Foreign countries are expressing concern about the use of heavy-handed measures by the Erdogan administration, so the President's response will be closely watched.
The race for Tokyo governor is heating up in the lead-up to Election Day on July 31st. Candidates are trying to impress voters in the nation's capital with their ideas for improving people's lives. NHK conducted an opinion poll for 3 days from last Saturday. The 30% of the respondents said they're very interested in the Tokyo gubernatorial election. 43% said they're interested to some extent. Combined figure, 73%. 17% said they don't have much interest, and 6% said they're not interested at all. Here is the list of candidates in the election that's drawing so much attention. A record 21 candidates are running. The list of candidates continues. All 21 candidates. Journalist Shintaro Torige has been seeking out voters in front of train stations and other favourite campaign spots. He also attended meetings organised by citizens groups to seek their support. Torigoe says nursery services in Tokyo are in a terrible state. He says if there is money to be spent on roads and buildings, it should also go to saving and improving people's lives, since lives come before materials. Former Internal Affairs Minister Hiroya Masuda has been campaigning with Diet members of the Liberal Democratic Party. He made his pitch at shopping and entertainment areas that are popular with young people. Masuda says more money should be allocated to child rearing, because the shortage of daycare services is very serious. She says the problem of an aging population is becoming urgent. He says it's important to build a system that will provide nursing care around the clock in each community. Former Labour Minister Toshio Yamaguchi addressed a big crowd in Shinjuku. Yamaguchi says Tokyo needs to shift from strategies for growth to strategies for a mature society. Yuriko Koike, former Defence Minister, Environment Minister, she's been focusing her campaign on Tokyo's 23 wards, doing the rounds of busy shopping centres, entertainment districts and train stations. Koike says she wants to increase the number of childcare centres. She says these don't need to be large-scale facilities. She says vacant homes can be renovated, with the cost footed by the Tokyo government. She wants to implement policies that would assure residents that the Tokyo government genuinely cares about them. Takashi Uesugi is the president of a company that distributes news programs online. He's leading a campaign that relies heavily on digital media. Uesugi says the top agenda is preparing for strong earthquakes occurring directly beneath Tokyo. Another is coping with a rapidly aging society. There's 40,000 elderly on the waiting list for nursing homes. He says the problem is urgent. Chozo Nakagawa is a former mayor of Kasai City in Hyogo Prefecture. He exchanges opinions with voters online while also taking to the streets to give speeches. Nakagawa says he'll implement administrative reforms that have a direct impact on residents' lives and livelihoods. To this end, he says he'll transfer a substantial portion of Tokyo's authority, budget and human resources to local municipalities. Election authorities in Tokyo say that 56,641 people cast ballots in the 3 days from July 15th to 17th under the early voting system. That's about 47% higher than the same period before the previous gubernatorial race in 2014.